you doing? I trust that you're doing fine. Welcome to Charity's Bubble. We have another small session that we're going to talk about the address. An address is going to be a very important aspect when you are filling your DS-260. So what's an address? But first of all, let me acknowledge all my new subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed to this space, please hit the subscribe button, like our channel, watch our videos. There's so much to learn about this green card journey, and leave a comment, ask a question, anything you want to ask. I'm here and ready to answer you. So today I want to talk about the address. I like to always relate to what I went through. When we were in Kenya, I did not know what is an address. And actually most people do not know what's an address because we have another system. We use mail, which is kind of outdated in Kenya right now because people are using emails, and there is all these cybers, and people have cell phones that they can get information on the cell phones. But here in the US, you find that the mailbox is a very important aspect. Every house has a mailbox whereby all your mail will be coming in, and you can go and get it, and it is private. So that it has a number. Now that number is an address. So where you live is your address. So like our home here, this is our address. So when you win a green card, they will require you to have an address for you to tell them where you're going. And in our case, when we got our green card, we did not know anybody who lived in the US, like nobody. We didn't have friends, we didn't have relatives. And that's why I say it's anybody can win a green card, because where I come from and where my husband comes from, I do not think that anybody would have thought that we would have ended up in the US. But God works in mysterious ways. So it's very important to know these things and to try. Because I've had people telling me that I've tried so many times, but I have failed. Now keep on trying. You never know. This year might be your lucky year. Next year, do not give up. Be persistent, because the green card is a real thing, and it is the best way for you to come and live in the US. So let me talk about the address, because they will require you to put an address there of where you are going after you get your visa. Now you have to know someone who lives in the US, not necessarily because we did not know anyone, but if you get the chance, it is important to look for people who have people or who know people who live here, and those people can connect you so that you can have someone who is kind enough and generous enough to share their address with you, so that you can give that. You can write that in your DS-260, and then when you go to the American Embassy, they know where you're going. So in our case, like I said, we didn't know anybody. So what did we do? We had a friend who connected us to a friend who lived in California. So because that was our destination, and he agreed to give us his address. But it was so funny because that person kept calling us, checking on us before we got our visa, and he was really nice. He was even telling us about the US and everything. But after we went for our interview, and after a few days, my husband calls him and he's like, yeah, we got the visa, and we have set a date to travel, because it didn't take us a long time after we got our visa. We didn't stay much in Kenya. We stayed for 3 weeks. 3 weeks after we got our visa on the mail, and then we just flew and came into the US. So my husband calls this guy to tell him of the great news that we have gotten our visa, and now we are just doing preparations to come in. Now the shocking thing is that guy said that he wasn't gonna host us. He said, oh, I live with another person, I don't know if I am able to host a family, so you guys have to sort yourselves out and look for another person. Oh my goodness, that was a shock. We were stranded. We didn't know what to do, where to go, because after we had gotten our visa, we had started selling our stuff. We have sold them almost everything. So we are like, oh my, we don't even know what to do. Because it was at the 11th hour that that guy bailed on us. Which I'm not gonna be so nice about the people who have come here with a green card or they live here, and you know that you have an opportunity that you can host a person for those few days and then you bail out on them. Why make that promise in the first place? Why don't you just say no? Be comfortable in saying no if you know that you cannot do it. But do not ever make a promise to someone who is in Kenya. They have won a green card, they have gotten their visa, and you tell them no. Or you agree and then you make them board the plane and they come all the way, and when they reach the airport, there are stories of people reaching the airport and they don't have anybody to pick them up. They are stranded in the airport. Now, when you have a green card, you have so many opportunities. There is no obstacle when you come to this country. You can still find a way, but it's very difficult if you do not know a person. So this is for anyone who has ever promised that they are going to host you and they have refused. It is wrong, it is immoral, and do not make promises that you are not going to keep. It's very important. If you feel like you cannot host a person, I know the living arrangement is here are crazy. Some people, maybe they live together. Other people, they live in a small apartment. It's okay. But do not promise someone who is in Kenya, they have never been in the US, that you're going to host them or you're going to give them an address and then you bail out on them. That is very wrong, because that happened to us. And it took a while before we found another host. So we had to, and it was lucky because we had not booked the plane. So we started now looking for a host. But luckily we found this friend who found a friend, and that friend connected us to a friend, and finally we got to a host, and we got a very good person who hosted us for the short time that we lived with him. And we really, even right now, we are always grateful to that guy because he was able to take us in. He was just a single young man, and we had a family when we were coming in here, and he was really good to us, and he was really nice to us. So whatever he is, just know that we are always grateful for what you did for us. Make sure that you look for a person who is honest enough to give you their address, to share their address, so that when you give it, when you write it in your DS-260, and you're going to the American embassy, you are sure that you know where you're going. You don't want to be stranded. And although this is, unless it's even, because I even know close family members can refuse, because I've realized that if you come here with a green card or whatever, everybody wants to know how you came here. Did you come with a green card? Did you come with what? That's irrelevant for me. If you want to help someone, and by giving them an address, just give it to them, help them at that moment. And then when they have sorted themselves out, because it doesn't take long for you to be on your feet if you come here with a green card, it's very easy. Make sure that you are honest enough and you are able to work with them at this journey and help them, because regardless of what happens, and I'm going to talk about hosting in another session, because hosting is complex and people would give reasons why they have bailed out on giving addresses. But this is for the person who has won the green card visa, because I know there are some people who are processing right now, and there are some people who are going to apply. Make sure that the host that you get is reliable. Now, do not look for a host before you win your green card. No, you look for a host after you have been sent the email for you to process your DS-260. That's a requirement. So very, very important to think about and to know. And don't forget that you don't have to be of high status to win a green card or to process it. What you need to have is information and to know what to do, because with information you will know this is what I'm required to do and this is what I am supposed to do. So thank you for watching this space. Please comment, like our video, and subscribe to our channel. We are overwhelmed with the support that we have gotten from people, and we thank you. We pray for you every day, and we hope that we will meet in face when you have won your green card and you have come to live here in the US. Thank you. Have a good day and God bless you.